Good morning to everyone. A very warm welcome. Actually, uh, as there is a heavy rain everywhere, but still we are there. We are watching. We are attending this session, and for that matter, a very huge, warm welcome to everyone. Okay. So, without further ado, we will start our discussion. Today, the topic of this particular session, okay, this is the demo 1 session, and I don't want to uh, let you force to deep dive into the technical details of the sociology. Today, I'm not going to deep dive, I'm not going to force you to think like a sociologist, okay? But as a general citizen of any state or a general member of any society, how we perceive the society, what we think about the society, and that particular thing today I'm going to just discuss here. That how we look at ourselves, how we look at our society, is that the correct way? Is that the right way? Uh, Today my task is not to just teach you the sociology, but today's motto is completely a different one, and that is how to look at the society. Okay, yes folks, I know very well that all of you are looking forward to become an IAS officer, and for that matter we are just have selected this optional. And sociology, our main motto is how to secure good number of marks, let's say for example 300 plus marks. But to start that actual digging, to start that actual preparation, okay, first of all we need to must clear the ground. We must first of all take a shovel, take a spade in our hands, and then we have to first of all clean the ground. First of all we have to just get away from all those myths, get away from all those biases, and then only we can start our journey in a very fresh manner. So, the sociological eye, a new way of seeing, understanding society through the everyday life. Okay, and then in this session itself, I will discuss with you the various nitties and gritties of the syllabus and books and resources and all that. But first of all, try to understand what is society, who we are, and how this sociology is going to help us. Okay, so first of all, the transformation begins here. Yes, as an aspirant, we have to focus more upon the syllabus. Yes, we have to focus upon the definitions, we have to memorize them, and we have to search for the right answers. Definitely, and there is no harm into this, there is no problem into this. But as the observer, we have to focus on the reality. We have to focus upon the everyday people. We have to observe them. We have to observe these people and their behavior, and we have to learn, ask why these things happen. So folks, I'm today going to give you the new pair of glasses, no, new pair of eyes, because by using these eyes, you will become able to understand the same society in which you are living. By using this pair of new eyes, you will become able to move, to look at or to look beyond the surface. You will become to understand all these society and societal mechanism. Okay, so let's start one by one, and that's why we have to walk on a very tighter rope, and we have to make that balance where we have to be aspirant and we have to be observer. We have to be observer, because just by becoming an aspirant, okay, you are not going to connect all those dots. You are not going to become able to apply the theoretical knowledge over the current happenings, and UPSC always want that. And to connect the theoretical aspects with the current happening, you need to become at the same time observer. With the aspirant, you need to become an observer. How? Look at here. We will take a lot of examples here. Whenever I left my home to the classroom, okay, I observe the various things, and one of them is the street lights, not street lights, but the traffic signal. Traffic signal. And whenever the red light goes on, the people, they slow down their vehicles and they stop at the zebra crossing. Yes, I observe. Second thing, what I observe, that slowly one young boy, he tried to search a white color. Is there any white color standing anywhere and all that, okay? And if there is no white color standing, mama, traffic mama. So if there is no white color standing anywhere, okay, then it's just accelerate its vehicle and just moves on. And by looking at the boy, then another one also starts the engine of his vehicle, and then he also moves on. The second one, third one, fourth one. Now the thoughts comes into my mind that why people behaves in this manner. Why people behaves in this manner. Why few people, okay, why few people, they violate the red signal. Why? Why they cross the red light? Now, it is not because of the legal knowledge. It is not because of the lack of legal knowledge. Okay? Because I know some of them might be doctors, engineers, well-educated persons, but still they violate red line. Why? That question comes into my mind. Might be you people also faces some same kind of questions. Yes? Okay? So this is not merely a traffic question, but it is a question about the society. About the society. Now, regarding this same traffic signal, I just like to give you the current very interesting news from the Japan. See, whenever a team from any nation, okay, win the match in football, FIFA World Cup, then they celebrate the winning over the enemy or another team. Now, when the France lost its match, then the supporters came on the street and they protested against it. They protested against it. They just they were trying to just venting out their anger, but in a very violent manner. They burnt vehicles. They torch various shops. But at the same time, the Japanese people were there, and who also were trying to celebrate the winning of their team over the another team. A lot of time we also celebrate our victory, World Cup victory in the cricket match, cricket tournament, by coming on the street. Most of the time that take the form of the hooliganism, where we just shout without any civic behavior, without considering any other things, like this might cause a problematic for the people who are sleeping. We never gave a thought. We just come on the street, we shout loudly, and we celebrate our things. Most of the time, even this happens during the daytime, whenever the victory of any neta, okay, just try to celebrate by its own workers, they come on the street, they block the street, they block the traffic, and they move on. The whole traffic just gets congested. The whole traffic stands still, but nobody cares. What happened in the Japan? They also came on the street. In one of the busiest square in the Tokyo was there, and people of the Japan, they came together, they gathered in the vicinity of that square, and they celebrated their joy, they celebrated their victory. But how? Whenever The red light signals goes on when vehicle stops for the green light, and when the passerby, there was a signal for the passerby, where there was a signal for the pedestrians, walkers, you might be have been observed that around 30 to 40 seconds, okay, the pedestrians get to cross the particular zebra crossing, but cross the particular road. So what these Japanese would do, what the Japanese did, they utilized these 30 seconds. Within this 30 seconds, वो आए इधर सेंटर में खड़े थे, लोग आए, सेलिब्रेट किया, सेलिब्रेट करने के बाद रेड सिग्नल, वहाँ पे ग्रीन सिग्नल लगा, फिर लोग अपने अपने जगह पे. They came on in the center, they celebrated their joy. When the green signal goes on, they again move back to the vicinity. Again, after red signal, they come together, they celebrated again. Again, green signal goes on, they came back. What is this? Why people in Japan behaves very differently than the other people like India or like France? Why? Folks, this is not just a merely problem of the law. This is not the merely a problem of any civic sense, but this is the more of a problem, or this is more of a nature. It's the more of a nature of your society, because societies are different. The Japanese society, Indian society, French society, these societies differs, and so that the behavior of people also differs. Few people don't get bothered that they are causing a harm, they are causing a crisis, they are causing a traffic congestion. They don't give any kind of a shit. But at the same time, there are few people who thinks more than that. Getting my question? What makes these behavior of people differs? That is the society. Another example, the scene. The scene where a daughter want to marry with a boy who is also educated, who is also employed, who is getting a job, who is earning money, and so everything is okay. But the papa, that is the father, they said, no beta, you cannot marry with the boy. Girl says, but I love him. Papa says, yes, I know you love him, but still the marriage is not allowed. But why, Papa? Because he does not belong to our caste. But the girl says, but he educated, he is a well-mannered, he is earning, so everything is a tick mark. So why you are not giving us a permission? Father says, beta, this is not the concern about the education, this is not the concern about the how much he is earning. This is the more of a concern of our family, our legacy, our jati, our caste, our khandan ki maryada hai. Are you getting? Now the problem is what? That the father replies, okay, this is not about the education, this is not about the finance, this is about the family. Now the problem is what? What does mean by the our family? What does mean by the khandan? The girl start to think, what makes our family? What makes our family as a criteria for the marriage? The Constitution of India has given me the right to choose a partner, but still I am not able. What is that family which is superseding or which is becoming more important than the Constitution? Family. And family leads to the society. Are you getting my question? Are you getting my point? Okay. So just think about this invisible force. Next is, see, another example. Every year, million and million of people around India, they prepare for the UPSC. They prepare for the civil services examination, and they know very well that yes, this examination needs dedication, perseverance, consistency, and with that, this examination need a particular hard work. But still, majority of the students, they remain stuck with the scrolling, doom scrolling. They know, their left brain says them, no, we have to do hard work. This exam demands. But at the same time, the right brain or whatever the brain you have, okay, that stick, that remains sticking, or they stick with the screens, scrolling, this reel, that reel, this reel and that reel. Why this happens? Huh? Can we say those students are not serious one? No, they are highly serious one. But why this happens? Why this happens with their discipline? Another example, okay, India. India leads in space technology, in nuclear technology. India leads in various kinds of technology. Today, not today, but earlier, okay, already we have sent a mission to the Mars. We have sent a mission to the moon. We have landed over the moon very successfully. Are you getting my point? So in each and every sector of technology, we are ahead. But still we ask the question, है ना? But still people still ask, what is your caste? What is your religion? Where you came from? So the question is that how do we carry centuries old institutions into the future? How do? Why? Why at the same time people are highly modernized? Why at the same time people are still stuck? Okay, they have been still stuck with the webs of traditional institutions. Why? And what explains this complete paradox? Why? Getting my point? Okay, so these modern contradictions. So the thing is what? Why do human beings behave the way they do in society? Take the example of traffic rules and rule breakers. Take the example of marriage of that particular girl. Take the example of technology and our ancient caste system, religious aspects. And take the example of UPSC discipline and Instagram. Why? The question is, why do human beings behave the way they do in society? And these questions look entirely different, but they are all asking the same exact thing. What is? What? The question is what? Why do people behave in a particular way in a particular society? Why? That is the question. And that's why to understand all this thing, okay, to understand all this thing, we need to go towards the sociology. But I will not let you again, okay, I will not let you in this moment to enter into the sociology. But first of all, what I want, the thirst before the water. Yes, notice I have still not used the word sociology in those aspects, in those technical manner. I have not given you the definition what is sociology. I am just discussing with you all those aspects which will make you thirsty. Why this happens? जब प्यास लगती है तो पानी अपने आप से बहुत अच्छा लगता है, उसका स्वाद बहुत बढ़ जाता है, करेक्ट है ना? जब प्यास लगती है तो अपने आप से पानी का स्वाद बढ़ जाता है. उस तरह से मुझे वो आपको प्यास लगानी है, प्यास आपके अंदर आनी है, और तभी हम इसको क्या कर सकते हैं? यस, वी विल अंडरस्टैंड द सोशियोलॉजी इन दैट वे, इन अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वे, एंड दैट क्यूरियोसिटी इज आवर डेस्टिनेशन. दैट क्यूरियोसिटी इज आवर डेस्टिनेशन. So look at those all questions. I will give you another examples. First, lift. Why do people stand silently? Have you any time observed? Have you any time observed that why do people remain silent in the or within the lift, elevator? But at the same time, when they come out of the lift, they talk very loudly, openly. But why? Why we remain silent within the lift? Is there any rule book? Have you read it? Any time? No? Then why? Second example, that if tomorrow everyone in the India, if suppose in tomorrow, if in India, if everyone start to drive from the right side, and you are the only one who is still sticking, okay, with the left side driving. In India, what happens here? What happens? So, are the people who have shifted their habit are the violators, or you are the violating the rules? Who? Are you getting my point? Okay, next, look at the library or look at the examination hall. Whenever you enter into the examination hall, you find out everybody is just silent. In the library also, whenever you enter into the library, you find out everybody is silent there. And you also follows that. You also follows that and you also remain silent forever. Not forever, but the whole time, whole during the time. Now again, who told you? Who told you? Have you read about anywhere? Have you read about all these laws and rules anywhere? No, but still you follows them. Why? Why? Again, the questions are there. Why? Next, unwritten rules. Why do we celebrate our birthdays? Think. People, think. Because the sociology forces you to think. And today's my complete focus will be to how to make you, how to force you, how to encourage you to think. So a lot of time now, our day-to-day life and day-to-day happenings, day-to-day actions, we take it casually, we take it granted. Why? Because we believe that life is like this. ऐसे ही होता है हमारे यहाँ पे. But why? Why this happens? That is the sociology. Okay. Sociology encourages you to think critically. And the very similarity is there with the UPSC. UPSC also force you to think critically. And that's why the students of sociology optional, they excel not only in the option but everywhere, every stage of the UPSC preparation. Why? Because both encourages you to think critically. So take the example, why do we celebrate the birthday? One. Second, why do only cut cakes? Why we never cut watermelon? Might be some people have cut the watermelon during the COVID. Yes. But in a day-to-day manner, why we celebrate our birthday by cutting cake? Who told you? Who told you? Who told our parents? Who? Again the question is there. Then why we celebrate the birthday? Have you gave any time, any concern, any thought about it? Might be you are a 20-year-old, might be you are a 19-year-old, might be you are a 25-year-old, whatever, maybe the age. But the question remains same. You celebrate your birthday. Why? What will happen if you are not going to celebrate birthday from tomorrow? Why? What? When? Are you getting my point? Critical thinking. Another example. That is, why do we automatically just remove our footwear before entering any temple? Before entering into any temple. Why? Again the same question. Why? Who told you? Your parents. Who told them? Their parents. And who told them? Who? Are you getting my point? When I ask you a question, that who told them, then only you came to the crossroad. Are yaar, we never gave a thought about this, but we followed this. Then why? Why that happened? Who? So folks, these seems like ordinary habits, but they are the clues about how society shapes us. How society shapes us. And the world's greatest laboratory, people, you are. Okay. So I am not interested in giving you definitions today. Definitions, books, thinkers can wait. But what can't wait, that is your perspective. That is your perspective. And that thing we are to doing here, that folks, you are living into a laboratory. It is teaching sociology every single second to you, to me, to everyone. We are living into the laboratory, and this is the world's largest laboratory. This is the world's largest laboratory, the most advanced and most sophisticated and most complex laboratory, and that is our society, where every wedding, every family, every street, every meme, every silence and every WhatsApp group is a part of the society, and that society teaches a lot of things at every second. Just you need a focus, just you need a critical thinking to ask the questions, why this happens? Why somebody has left the group, WhatsApp group? Why somebody has gave a concern about this when the majority of the people remain silent? Protest. Jantar Mantar. Why somebody failed a problem, the issue when the CJI of India called the youth as a cockroach? Why somebody think? Okay, that is the sociology. And folks, to learn the sociology, okay, first of all, just try to understand the sociology. You are not going to learn only through the books, but already you are living into the laboratory of this sociology, that is the society. Just what you need, a pair of lens, pair of new eyes. What I am trying to give you. Various examples we have discussed. Another examples also we are going to discuss here. Okay. So the thing is what? Just take the example of magician. Maybe you have experienced any magician show. When we attend the magician show, we just get involved deeply into the magician's trick, various tricks. It uses various tricks and it mesmerizes us. We remain, how that person has did this? How? So it gives us a goosebumps. Yes? Okay, no problem. But if suppose after that show somebody explains all those tricks to you, now you are aware how the magicians did that particular trick or particular thing. And now somebody told you that, hey, come on, I have 2 tickets and just a person, my friend, just didn't turn up. So can you please give me a company? And just you entered into the same hall second time after knowing the tricks. Now what will happen? You will not get mesmerized. You will not get astonished. You will not get surprised the tricks or what the magician is doing. Why? Because you know the things behind that. Because you know how things works. Because you know how things evolve. Now everybody when is in the awe moment, okay, but you are still thinking about how the person is so much clever and how it is making everybody is full. Not full, maybe the objective is not that, but how? And now you are looking at the same show but with the different lens. That is the sociology. That is the objective what we have here, and that is the main thing what we want to understand here, the new reality. The changed observer. Show remains same. The people are same. Okay, everything is same, but your perspective has been changed to look at the same show. So here in society, the society remains same. The people are still violating the rules. People are still celebrating on the road. But now your perspective will change after learning sociology, after learning this sociological perspective. That perspective will get you will get perspective. That lens will help you to look at the same thing but in a very different manner. That is the sociology. Okay? But at the same time, a new way to see the world. Folks, the world is a stranger than we think. Most of the time, come to the next stage. The world is a stranger. We always believe that we know our society, but no, you don't know the society yet. Okay? For example, in the society, the behavior of individual is always get shaped by the society. Yes, I know. You will say that, so, sir, no, not at all. Individuals are far more greater force than the society. Individuals can think and individuals can decide what to do and what not to do. Okay, and that's why society never shapes the behavior of individual. Individuals gives shapes to the society. Okay, yes, okay, no problem. You will say, sir, we are free. We have right to choose what to wear, what to eat, what to write, what to have, everything. So we have a right to choose clothes, to choose our career, to choose our friends. But now look at deeper. Now look at deeper. Which cloth you have chosen? You called it as a freedom. You called it as a freedom. Let me give you one example. For example, if suppose there is a funeral, which cloth you will wear? The janky panky like a Ranveer Singh or Govinda? A very colorful clothes? No, you will wear white loin clothes. Why? Why? Somebody has told you? No. Then you said, you might be said that, sir, but we have chosen, na? Then we are going to attend the funeral, and that's why we have to be very use a very white dress and all that, because sir, it is a sad moment for the family, and the white color clothes denotes a peaceful message and all that. Who told you? Who told you? Where you learn all these things? Huh? Where you learn? In the dream? Or is where? Or in tuition? Where? No, we learn all these things, all these thoughts by looking at the people. That people behave that in a certain manner, so that's why I have to also behave in a certain manner. So your opinion, your choice is getting determined indirectly, okay, by what? By the group of people, by the group of community. For example, if there is a marriage, and you attended that marriage by wearing a night dress, what will the other people will say? बेटा कहाँ से आए हो? अरे ध्यान किधर है तुम्हारा? कपड़े कैसे पहने हो आप? क्या हुआ? Everybody will look at you, stare at you. Huh? What will happen? But you said, na, sir, no, we have a freedom. What to wear and what not to. Then what happened here? Folks, it is the society. It is the society which shapes all your preferences, all your decisions, all your aspects and thoughts and everything. Friends even. Most of the students, most of the children, they select friends by looking at the manners, by looking at the culture, by looking at the way of living. They select. Who told them? Nothing. Nobody. When I ask one child, okay, that who are your friends, and he gave me just various kind of names, and then I suddenly just I asked him that, does anybody belongs to the slum area? He said, no, not at all. We never interact with those children from the slums. They are the poor people. They are the poorest children. And I don't like their way of behavior. What that means? The small child of the 5th standard gives me answer in this manner. What is shaping the behavior of 5th standard child? Are you getting my point? So are we really free? Are we really free? Are we really able to exercise our own rights? No, never. Yes, society shapes the menu. Folks, always. Again, the invisible architecture, the same thing. Okay? So, what happens? There are two words in the society. One is a law and another is a society. Okay? Folks, law regulates our behavior. But society shapes our behavior. Law, to which we fear, but society, to which we anticipate its approval. There is a difference. Law regulates our behavior, society shapes our behavior. One. Second, the law to which we fear, and that's why we try to obey it. But society, we always seeks approval from it. Approval from it. That I'm doing the correct way. Huh? Am I doing the correct way? Like you? Yes? Okay, no problem. If I'm not, then yes, I have also fear here that you might ostracize me, you might exclude me, you might force me outside of you. And that's why I don't want to become odd among you, but I want to be one among you. We always seek approval from the society, and that's why we behaves in a certain manner. How? In a alignment with the society. We behaves always in align with the society. Are you getting my point? That is the law and society, and that's why the society is the major force. Law is one of the part of the society, and society is a larger one. Okay, so for example, another, the identity formation loop. What happens? One example I will give you here. Another, most of the time, if suppose there is a one family, and in the family, from the parents, from the grandparents, from the aunt and uncle, from the other neighbors, everybody suppose they are trying to call the child as a genius. Hey man, you are a genius. Hey girl, you are genius. Everybody is calling that boy or girl a genius. What happens? Automatically that boy is also try to behave like a genius. Yes? Because why? And at the same time, take the another example. Everybody just trying to address the child, the boy or girl, hey scoundrel. Huh? Hey scoundrel. Then, hey naughty. What happens? The boy or girl try to mimic that way. It also start to behave very naughtily. It also start to behave like a scoundrel. Getting my point? What changed here? The boy or girl? Not changed. The biology? Not changed. Then what changed? The way of interaction has been changed. The people within the family, how they are interacting with the child, that changed. Means what? Here, the child remains same. Biology remains same. The society changed. The social environment changed. And that is the shape of the society. That shape of the society which is giving you. And that's why, folks, words leads to identity. Identity leads to the character. And character leads to the society. And that's why words are very important one. But why words have gained here importance? Because of the society. How society look at you. And that is the thing. Okay. So repeated labeling by parent, friend and teacher. Repeated labeling by the parent, teacher and friends leads to the assigning meaning. Then individual, the child's biology hasn't changed, but their self-perception shift. Then behavioral adjust. Word becomes identities and confidence builds or collapses. Destiny shape. People become what society repeatedly tells them they are. And that's why the meaning assigned by the society alters the trajectory of the individual. Just the technical language I use again. But the same example I gave you the earlier. Nothing. What is that? Words gives the meaning. Meanings leads to the identity. And identity makes your character. Are you getting? Who are using those words? Society. And why there is an importance to the words? Because every word carry a meaning. You are a genius. Hey scoundrel. Like this. Words carry meaning. Because, and who gave the meaning to the words? Again the society. Again the society. Are you getting my point? So society is everywhere. And society shapes our behavior. We have taken lot of examples here, from the marriage to the education and everywhere. So folks, this same thing is where, okay? Now, the social rules, just last example, and then we will move forward to the our sociological, core sociological aspects. See, today's world, not only a societal world where we are living into that, but today we are living into the another world, and that is the digital world. Digital world. But folks, that digital world also have been shaped by the society. That digital world has been also shaped by the society. For example, the thumbs ups emoji. Who decided this specific icon means approval? Huh? We always try to make distinction between the digital world and societal world. Yes. But folks, the digital world also has been shaped by the physical world, that is our society. I will give you one example, that who has decided, who gave approval, who decided this specific icon means approval, thumbs up, thumbs down. Who gave the meanings to the digital world also? Who gave the meaning to the digital world also? The blue tick means seen. Who assigned the meaning? Who assigned the meaning to that? Response time. Who created the invisible rule that replying late is a very rude? Replying late is a very rude. And at the same time, all these aspects of the digital world, who has decided their meanings? The same society. Are you getting my point? The same society. So, not only the digital world, folks, just look aside yourself. Wherever might have been you said, okay, आप लाइब्रेरी में होंगे, आप घर में होंगे, आप रूम में होंगे, बाहर सड़क पे आप बस का वेट कर रहे होंगे, कहाँ पर कोई बात नहीं है, आप इधर उधर देखो, just look at around you, just look at what you are watching, what you are looking, what you have, chair, table, mobile phone, colors, everything you have, yes, whatever the spaces are there in your room, yes, who gave them meaning? Chair ko chair किसने कहा? If there is a one particular book, who told you? And why you always consider the book as a sacred? Why? Why you respect? Why you give respect to the certain object? And whenever, and at the same time, you don't have any relationship of respect with the chair or with the table. Why that matters? Why? For example, few objects, toward the few object, you have the feeling of respect, and to some of the object, you have the feeling of just a mundane, just the utilization. What makes that difference between the things, between the objects? It is again society. It is again society, and that's why. Okay, last example here I will discuss with you. One last example, administrator's perspective. Folks, there is a rain everywhere, है ना? Monsoon is going on and there is a rain everywhere. Yes. Now, look at the same question, the rain. What happens? The meteorologist says in last 24 hours 200 millimeter rain has been poured over the Tamini Ghat or over the Pune district. Meteorologist. Second, economist. It says because of the rain, for example, the 200,000 of man days have been lost. The people could not get a job because of the rain and heavy rain and all that. People could not appear into their offices because of the heavy rain, and that led to the huge loss, economic loss to the economy. Getting? Second. Third, the police said because of the rain, what happened? The traffic got congested. One. Second, it also led to some quarrels, okay, fighting in between the people, and it also reported some casualties in the dash areas. So that is the police. But what about the sociologist? What about the sociologist? So what meteorologist said? 200 ml, 200 millimeter rain poured. What the economics said? 1,000 rupees of have been lost. What police said? The casualties have been reported and this happened. But what sociologist will say? What sociologist will say? Sociologist will look at the same rain but in a very different manner, and it will ask why only the areas where slums are dominant get flooded every time. Why? Second, okay, why slums get flooded every time? Second, why only people from the unorganized sector get affected because of the heavy rain, but at the same time the people from the formal sector, those who have permanent jobs, those who are having the affluent gadgets with them, they never get affected that much. They can still carry their work from home. When the companies gave holiday, the company never cut your salary, government never cut your salary. The sociologists ask the question, why rain affects more badly to the unorganized workers or the workers from the unorganized sector? Why? Second, are you getting my point? Third, the rain. Yes, the rain displaces the people. But again, why the poor get affected one more than the affluent one? Why the civil administration reacts swiftly to the problems of affluent people who are living into the plush societies? Why they give priorities to the potholes on their road? Why they give priority to the drainage blockage on their vicinity? Why those area of the city get neglected or get delayed attention? Why this happens? Why rain does not affect everybody in a same extent or same degree or same manner? Why? Is that rain or is that the society? Who? Rain is equal for everyone. Rain is similar thing for everyone, but it affects differently. Why? Because it is the social structure. And this asking questions, this looking at the same thing in a different manner, that is the sociologist. That is the sociology. I'm really very positive now that yes, you folks are now trying to understand yes, what sociology is going to give you, what sociology is going to affect you, how sociology is going to behave, the shape your perspectives. Am I right? Yes, that is the same thing. I will give you one another example. Hospital. Suppose this is the hospital. Okay. Look at the doctor. Doctor will say how many patients today I have to treat. Doctor will say how many patients I have to treat. One. Second, suppose there is an architecture. The architecture will say how can I improvise the structure of this hospital so that doctor can move swiftly from one to another room and can accommodate more number of patients. Third, suppose there is an accountant. Then accountant will say, how the particular finance of this hospital works, how much they get, how much they cost, how much the treating one patient cost for the hospital, to the hospital, how they manage their finance, what is debit and credit. All these things will come into the mind of accountant. But again, if there is a one sociologist observe people, And sociology observe people, sociologists will observe the people and will ask the questions. Why? Why the rich people have different AC rooms, whereas the poor people, they get treated in the general ward? Why? People are there, people belong to the same society, but getting treatment is a very different thing. है ना? Why? Second question, the sociologist is observing that the child, when getting admitted, okay, the child is accompanied by the various people within the family, mother, father, grandparents, or something like other people. Other people are there with the child. When the woman is expected, okay, means giving birth to the child, woman is expected at that time, a lot of people are accompanied her. So a lot of people are there with her. But at the same time, there are old people, and the old people are sitting there waiting for the doctor, but they are alone. Why? The same hospital. The first question, why the treatment is different for the rich people and poor people? Second, why the few category of people, that few age of the people, child or mother, okay, they are accompanied by the people, but the older people are there alone? Why? Why? Getting my question? That is the sociologist. And that is the sociologist. So folks, just like a physical environment has its rules, just like a physical environment has its rules, and physics, the science, okay, it studies all these physical rules. In a similar manner, our society also has some rules, as our society also has some norms by abiding with, by following which our members, means we, all of us, we behaves in a certain manner. So there was a felt a need for the new social science, which will study the social rules, social norms, why people behaves in a certain manner, why people behaves in a certain manner, है ना? To ask those questions, to get the answers to those questions. Then there emerged a different social science, and that is the sociology. Okay, can you give me any example of this? I gave you a lot of examples. Can you give me one example which can add here into our discussion? Just type some examples. Okay, do you have any example? Can you tell me? Or any question until this? You can just type your queries. You can just mention those here in the chat box. Whatever the question, whatever the thing, whatever the things we have discussed until now, you can just let me know. If you have any question, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Anybody? Yes, no? Nothing? Okay. So what we have discussed here, that the sociologists always try to look at the same thing but in a very different manner. They look at the things in a very critical manner. So critical thinking. They always ask questions. They always ask questions. Okay. And they try to find out, the mechanism behind that, the reasons behind that. Okay. But remember always that sociology is not a prescriptive science. Prescriptive means what to do, what not to do. No, just one branch of sociology is there, that is the critical thinking, critical sociology. But except that, the sociology never tells you what to do and what not to do. Sociology always tells you what it is, how it works, why it works. Now it is up to you that to use that knowledge and to make laws, to use that knowledge and to act upon it. It is you, and you means as an administrator, okay, it is you. See, those students who learn sociology, who have the knowledge of sociology, okay, they never just gives the order. They never just stop at the rule bending or rule changes. Means, for example, if I change the rule, the people will follow. No, this logic never applies over the society. And the administrators who have learned the sociology, they also never believe into this. For example, if you build toilets, people will just stop to defecate openly. No, never this happens. This never happens. If you build toilets, still people defecate openly. Why? Because their behavior is shaped by the society in a very different manner. Culture. Culture says people to that when, okay, at the same time, culture says to the people that if you are taking food in that particular house, you should not defecate within that same house. Okay, so taking food and letting food should not happen in a one same room, same house. That is the culture, and that's why people, even after building a that particular latrine or particular toilet, they never use it. So if you tell the people that if you violate this, we will punish you, still people will violate it. Because what? Because their societal behavior, societal nature, societal structure force them. For example, Khap Panchayat. For example, the Jati Panchayat. Yes, law says you cannot stop your girl or daughter or boy getting married according to their wishes. You cannot stop them. You cannot force them. But still people do this. Why? Because just changing laws is not going to be suffice. Because the behavior of people always gets shaped by the society. And a good administrator knows this. How? By using the sociological knowledge. By using the sociological knowledge. Getting my point? And that's why the new law or infrastructure, if you are creating, and if you are missing the sociological understanding, then yes, that behavioral resistance you will get, defection and all that, whatever the things I have discussed with you. Are you getting my point? And that's why, folks, the water we swim in, a fish rarely notices water because it has always lived in it. Similarly, we rarely notice society because we have always lived inside it. We have lived always inside it. And that is my task, to give you the lens. Sociology does not take you to another planet. Sociology does not take you to another planet. It provides the lens, sociological perspective, lens, to see the invisible structures like the fish. Okay, like the fish. It gives you the lens to see the invisible structures of the planet you are already live on. Getting? So that's why, folks, this developing sociological lens is the real thing. Developing sociological lens is the real thing, real motto, real task in front of you. In UPSC, when you will understand, you will learn, you will study the sociology, you have to just develop this sociological lens. Even UPSC asks you question that you should write your answers in a sociological perspective. In a sociological perspective. Because in our sociology, folks, question remain always simple. Question always remains simple. The nature of question, you might have gone through it, are very straightforward and very simple one. So what makes the answer of GS and answer of sociology different than each other? That is sociological perspective. What is sociological perspective? The lens which we are discussing from last couple of minutes. Lens, new pair of lens, new pair of eyes. Yes, getting my point? Okay, so just having a um, sight, okay, having a vision is not important. Having insight is more important than the vision. Everybody can see, but everybody cannot understand what they are seeing, what they are watching. And that behind the curtain, what we are needed to do here in the sociology. Getting my point? That is the sociological imagination, sociological perspective, and sociological lens. A sociologist is who? The sociologist is someone who asks better questions. Better question. I gave you the example of hospital. है ना? Hospital. I gave you the example. I gave you the example of rain. Okay? I gave you the example of rain. So, city flood and everything. So, folks, seeing the invisible is the job of the sociologist. Seeing the invisible is the job of the sociologist and the job of the you aspirants who selects or who chooses sociology optional. Okay? So when you wear the glasses of sociology, you stop seeing just individual. Okay? You see the invisible force cutting upon them. You see the invisible force acting upon them. You see the invisible force shaping the behavior of individual, the family, the culture, religion, gender, class, caste, media, education, economy, politics, history, family. All these are the invisible forces which forces you to act upon a particular manner. To act upon in a particular manner. Are you getting my point? The same thing is here. The same thing is here what we are trying to uncover. Okay? So, sociology will give you the glasses by using which you will uncover the invisible forces which are shaping the behavior of individual. Getting my point? Okay? So, same thing is here. Okay? Chalo. So, this was the thing. So, in every train journey is a classroom. Just we have discussed a lot of things here. Administrator evolution, we have discussed the good administrator to the best administrator. And so, the last thing, now we have come to the last stage of our discussion. Don't be quick to judge, be curious enough to understand. Don't be quick to judge, be curious enough to understand how society works. So, defining the subject, don't memorize it. Don't memorize this particular definition. So, sociology is what? Sociology is the systematic study and scientific study. Sociology is the systematic and scientific study of society, its social relationship, its social institutions, and human behavior in its social context. So, sociology is what? A systematic study. Sociology is a systematic study. It is a scientific study. Means sociology is not a common sense. Sociology is not what people believe. No. Sociology is a very systematic science which try to uncover the forces behind the particular way of acting by the people. Why people still hold the caste. Why people still gives importance to the religion. Why people still consider themselves as a more purer and impurer. Why people still believes that we should not disrespect our elders. Why? Okay, then the trying to find out the answer behind all those why is needed a systematic study, complete observation, asking question to the people, analyzing the data, so acting upon those hypotheses and try to figure out the theories behind that. So that needs a systematic study, that needs a scientific methodology, and sociology has developed its own scientific methodology by using which we try to uncover why people behave in a certain manner. Sociology, a systematic study, a scientific study of what? Of your society, of what? Of your social relationship, of what? The social context in which you are behaving. Okay, so that is the sociology and that is the thing. So folks, everything we have discussed now, cricket, matches, news, family, election, Instagram reels, traffic signal and everything. Okay, what we have discussed everything. Okay, so now it is the task of the sociologist to uncover what leading people to behave in a certain manner. That is the sociology. So folks, now here come to the syllabus. In the syllabus they have given us, okay, they have given us syllabus, the paper 1 and paper 2. Now look at curiously to this syllabus. In paper 1 they have focused more over the three things. First, understanding of the concept, understanding of the institutions, like what does mean by the stratification, what does mean by the work, what does mean by the politics, what does mean by the religion, what does mean by the family, what does mean by the marriage, what does mean by the kinship, what does mean by the social chain, what does mean by the all these institutions, the same society, same institutions in which you are living, education, politics, economics, hai na? We are living into that na, but we don't know the exact meaning of these institutions. So first they have included the first thing, understanding of the institution. Second, to understand and to learn about all these institutions, they have given the perspectives. In the first paper they have given us perspectives. Perspectives means here the thinkers. To understand all these social institutions, they have given us few thinkers: Marx, Durkheim, Weber, Parsons, Merton, Mead. Just simple 6 thinkers we have. And sociology is the one of the subjects which has a minimal number of thinkers in comparative to history, in comparative to political science and everybody. By using this perspective, we will try to understand all these institutions. Okay, and third, they have also included the scientific methodology. The scientific methodology by using which all these thinkers, they have developed their perspective. This finished. Only 3 things we have in the paper first: institutions, to understand those institutions, the perspectives, and how those perspectives have developed, sociological, scientific methodology. Now, by going through the paper first, you will get developed the acumen, you will get developed that sociological perspective, you will get developed that sociological understanding with the help of paper first. Now, it is time to apply that over Indian society, and that's why paper second is Indian society. Getting? So now apply all that knowledge over the Indian society. Now Indian society paper also, they have given us 3 things. First, they told us that what is the structure of Indian society? What is the structure of Indian society? Means what? For example, the caste, tribal people, rural people, है ना? Then classes which are recently emerging in India, religion, majority, minority, all these are the part of the structure of Indian society. So they told us that apply this theoretical knowledge to understand the structure of Indian society. Second, they also told us that to understand the structure of Indian society, with the help of these thinkers, also try to study the thinkers from Indian society. Before you, there are people who have tried to understand the society, Indian society, by applying the same theoretical perspective. है ना? So before you, they have tried this. For example, G.S. Ghurye had tried, M.N. Srinivas has tried, A.R. Desai has tried, Andre Bete has tried. So these are the 4 or 5 thinkers who tried before you to understand the same Indian society by applying this particular sociological knowledge. So UPSC told us that, hey, take the help of these people, to understand the structure. And the last part they have given us, they have told us in the paper second that how the society is changing. Try to understand that also with the help of this sociological perspective. Try to understand how Indian society is changing, because when you will become an IAS officer or IPS officer, you have to act within this changing society, and which is very rapidly changing. So try to understand why social changes are happening in a certain manner, what problems these social changes have been created, why few people are not included in this developmental process, social change. So you have to apply this knowledge over to understand of the social structure of Indian society and how that structure is changing. This is the paper second. So paper second is an application of paper first. Are you getting, my folks? Getting? This is the syllabus. Now, next, sources. Folks, the best sources are what? First, our class notes, printed one, and second are the PDF and PPT. Okay. Second, the IGNOU. Again, selected version is necessary, only selective. And third, few reference books, but again very selective. I have created the index of this selective reference material of the IGNOU and of the books like Ritzer, Harlambus and all that. If you want it, then just write down in comment PDF and I will send it to you the link to download all these indexes. How we can use the IGNOU notes, how can we use the particular Ritzer and Harlambus, and okay, it's just that will become easier for you to study the sociology. So these are the three things, yes, for paper 1 and for paper 2. For paper 2, the reference books again get changes. For example, Doshi, then Ghansham Shah, then there is a book of Yogendra Singh, then there is a book of M.N. Srinivas. But again, no need to go that much deeper, okay, because UPSC don't want just having a theoretical excellence. It wants you to apply whatever the social theoretical minimal knowledge you have over the society. That application it want, that application get rewarded always. So sources are like this, okay. So folks, these are the things what we will do here. In our batch, we focuses more upon the logic, how to develop logic. See, you need a depth, but the real challenge is not to have a depth. In sociology, everybody can go in the depth, but the real challenge is what? How to compress that knowledge, in 150 words or in 250 words. That is the real challenge. And for that matter, you need to have a good command over the concepts and theories, okay. Second, a lot of practice, and third, continuous feedback and improvement. Okay. So this is the needed, and our batch addresses these three issues particularly. Okay. So we addresses the first, that requirement, concept and theory. We focuses more upon the continuous interaction, just what we have did here from the morning. Still it is the morning, but still okay, from last couple of minutes what we have did, we discuss a lot of examples and then we connected it with the sociology. Yes, in a similar manner, we are going to discuss, okay, all these things in our classroom. Second, practice. Practice, two type of practice, daily answer writing, and second is sectional test. There will be 3 sectional tests for the paper 1, 3 sectional tests for the paper 2, and 2 comprehensive tests. But with that, daily answer writing will be there. More than 650 questions you will write down, and we will discuss it here also. And last but not least, a continuous feedback that will improvise you, and you will get it through that. Okay, so all these things we are going to address, but our major focus will be how you will get the good number of marks, that is 300 plus marks in the sociology. Okay, so do you have any query, any question about this? If you have, then you can ask me right now, or you can ask me in the comments. You can connect us with the through the mobile phones, phone numbers, and you can also visit our classroom or our office, which is located at Alka Chowk in Pune. And folks, tomorrow we are going to actually start the first topic of this syllabus, and that is the how sociology emerged as a social science, independent social science, how the social changes in Europe led to the emergence of sociology and the modernity also. Okay, so do you have any question? You can ask me. Any question? Nothing? On Google Meet, anybody does have any question? Okay, no problem. So let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.